Okay, so I had a thought today, this morning, just kind of popped into my head about how technology is progressing and how it's going to lead us to the mark of the beast and what the mark of the beast is going to be. Um, if you look back at the old movies, this old sci-fi movies, how they predicted the future and, how society would look and our flying cars and all of that, it looks kind of comical because they go into the details and the specifics, but some of them were really good because they were able to predict trends at least. And for example, the shrinking of technology due to the size of our chips, that sort of thing. And I just kind of had an epiphany moment this morning when I was thinking back on the cell phone and the way the mobile phone has evolved. And I'm not going to get into the specific applications per se, but I think I have an idea how this is going to lead to the society the Bible describes in the book of Revelation and the mark of the beast. If you think about the mobile phone, it is in many ways you. It is your identity. You plan your day's events, you track your weight or diet or whatever, you take pictures, you plot your trip on the road. You have all of your contacts saved in there. You can even send email. I mean, you can shoot video on your phone. There's just so many things you can do on a mobile phone that is linked to you. It has your identity connected to it. And I mean, today people are even walking into their smart homes and their houses are setting the thermostats automatically because of their phone in their pocket. Bluetooth technology communicates for them. But it's not the phone, really. The phone is merely the apparatus that communicates between the chip that is in their phone and the appliances. So really, the chip that is in your phone, your SIM card, is what is connected to you. Your SIM card is your identity. Follow me here, because this is what's going to progress further. Eventually, I believe you will not have a mobile phone. You will not have a cell phone. It will go away because you will be the apparatus. Here's what I mean. And this kind of just came to me this morning. The SIM card is a chip. The SIM card is what connects you to your tower. It's what communicates between your phone and your tower. Without it, you wouldn't be able to communicate. It is not the phone per se. It is the chip that is inside the phone, the SIM card. And regardless of what phone that SIM card is in, that is you. So if you take that SIM card out of your phone, you put it in another phone, boom, that phone is now tailored, customized to you. The tower reads that phone as you. The tower knows that chip. Wherever that chip goes, you go. So that chip has become a mediator of sorts. It is what connects you to the tower. Well, that chip is in many things. That chip is in your credit cards. Look on your card. It has the same pattern as that thing on your SIM card. It's a chip. That chip is in your passport, which of course is now being tied to health records, thanks to the vaccines and all of that. So your credit cards, that's your banking. Your passport, that's your travel, and now your health care. You're going to be able to communicate with all of these things, I believe, with just one chip. I believe the cell phone is going away. And I think all of these chips are going to merge into one. Make no mistake, a SIM card is a chip. Your credit card is just a carrier for a chip. These are just smoke and mirrors. Your passport is just a paper smoke and mirrors carrier for a chip. Everything comes down to a chip. Everything. Of course, some people debate whether or not the mark of the beast is an actual chip. I believe it will be. I think it's such a convenient carrier, and it's obvious that our society is going that route. The evolution of technology is such that the apparatus will go away, but the chip remains. Throughout the generations, that has been consistent. The chip has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and one day, the apparatuses that have been large and small will then eventually go to nothing. You will be the apparatus. Think of the VCR. Then we had DVD players, and we had Blu-ray, and now it's becoming streaming, where the apparatus has gone completely away. Anywhere you have a monitor, like a laptop or a cell phone, you can stream. There is no VCR, there is no DVD player. It's just whatever streaming device now. So it's almost completely gone. It's really just your visual display is automatically feeding you content without the VCR, DVD player, etc. Your phone is going to go away one day. And here's what I'm getting at. And this is crucial. The chip is a type of mediator. It's literally your go-between, because right now people scream for the next iPhone. They've got to have it. But really, that is nothing compared to the demand that is coming upon us when people will beg for the mark of the beast, which I believe will be embedded in your head or on your hand, not only as a sign of allegiance to the Antichrist system, but as their ticket to reality, to life, because from that chip, they will then be able to communicate with their bank, with their grocer, with their health records, their hospitals, their doctors, with their vehicles. You will not be able to drive a vehicle without a chip embedded in you. That chip will be your virtual identity, but more to the point, it will be your mediator. That mechanism, that tiny, invisible nearly mechanism by which you experience life, reality. Without it, you are no one. You have no identity. You do not exist. You cannot enjoy the benefits of life. You can't drive. You can't eat. You can't buy. You can't go to the hospital. You can't watch a movie. You can't do anything without a chip. And that chip is currently being carried around in multiple places in various things. Your cell phone, primarily, that is your identity. Google tracks who you are, where you go, what you like, what you purchase, everything. That's in your phone. But more to the point, it's connected to your SIM card, which is a chip. It's in your credit cards. It's in your passport. It's going to be in your vaccination records. All of this is going to be in a few different chips that will then merge into one, I believe, and then embedded. And from that point, you will be able to connect with everything. Now, to an extent, you might be thinking, well, duh, we already thought that, the mark of the beast is a chip embedded in your forehead, and it's going to have everything in it. But I guess this morning I was able to actually see it in my head, the way it works, the way it's going to be so in demand, because people will demand their passport to life. It will be literally their go-between. And this is where it gets kind of spiritual, religious, because of course the mark of the beast is not just technology. It's also, and perhaps primarily, a sign of allegiance. It's a mark of allegiance, a pledge of allegiance to a system, to a man, to the Antichrist. But it is also a mediator. Much like Jesus Christ is our mediator between God and man, your SIM card is the mediator between you and your cell tower. Your credit card chip is the mediator between you and the merchant with whom you'd like to transact. That card, or the chip that it contains, helps you make that purchase because it goes between. It's a mediator. And in that sense, the chip will literally be a type of Antichrist, an imposter Christ, a mediator, a fake mediator between you and life itself. Your whole life will be on hold unless you have that chip embedded. Without it, you will not be able to drive, buy or sell, go to the hospital, watch movies, use your phone, do anything. It will all be in you. You will be able to walk into your home with it, and everything will be set to your liking. You can tell your TV to come on. You can tell your car to start. You can call the doctor perhaps in your head without the apparatus. So the apparatus will be gone. You will be the apparatus. It will be a kind of transcendence, as the globalists call it. And it will be powered by your SIM card 2.0. All of these chips will be merged, and you will then be able to communicate through a mediator, through an Antichrist chip, literally, that goes between you and everything you want. And that's how I see society going. I just saw it this morning, and it just kind of popped into my mind how this is going. Technology is getting smaller and smaller. Eventually it's going away. It's just going to be the chip in you. All of your life is going to be accessed through that chip, and without it, You are nothing. You don't exist. You have no voice. You have no audience with the King without that mediator, without that Antichrist chip that will go into becoming the mark of the beast. What do you think about this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. This, I believe, is where society is headed. I'd love to go back 10 years from now and watch this video and see how close I was, because unfortunately, I believe we're going to see these days very soon. I believe the Bible says the man of sin will be revealed before God comes to save us from this wicked world and this wicked system of Antichrist. So it is up to us now to stand our ground, to live independent from these systems as much as possible, to not go in for the latest smart technology and to hook up our houses to the grid, to the cloud, but to live very carefully, conscientiously, and the Bible says, the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. And in effect, I believe that's what we should do here and now while we can, because there will come a day when these systems are all around us and we cannot do anything about it. But here and now, we can try our best to not be as reliant upon technology, upon smart technology in particular. Smart technology is so dangerous, particularly because it's so convenient, so seductive. Resist while you can. Don't be lazy. Don't go in for the latest technologies. View where it's going. Have an eye for where it's going and stop right now relying on it at every step. As much as is possible, get away from smart technology. Get away from all of these systems of enslavement that are eventually going to try to come between us and God, and between our own lives, and between everything that we would like to be able to control, like our cars and our phones and our video or our medical records or anything. They are inserting this chip between us and those things. Resist now while you can. Let me know what you think about my prognostication. I'd love to hear your thoughts. God bless.